And of course, the lady at the right-hand side, Helmut Kohl called her my girl. These successors paid more to Brussels than any other European country. They made Brussels on behalf of the people and interest groups who made them. We talked about patents. We talked about the patents on the drugs tested in Auschwitz. But this is just the beginning. Today, we are faced with a much broader onslaught. We learned that the post-World War II plans of IG Farben was to control Europe, not by military force alone, but by patents. All sectors of society that are of real value, like health, like high-tech products, are owned by a few multinational corporations in the power countries. And the rest of Europe, they are being kept as the consumers of these products. And if you look at the EU plans today, it's pretty much the same. Let's look at the pharmaceutical multi-billion euro market of diseases. Don't forget, patents are the key instruments for the economic control of countries, of regions, of the world. The key pharmaceutical markets for patented drugs are cardiovascular disease, cancer, and other diseases. The annual pharmaceutical revenues are 650 billion euros on a business that is based on maintaining, on continuing diseases as markets. How big do you think the interest of these companies is to eradicate a disease? Zero. Because they don't destroy their own markets. Diseases are markets, and big diseases, epidemics like heart disease or cancer, are gold mines. And this explains why in 100 years of modern medicine there's no cure for heart disease, there's no cure for cancer. There's hardly any reduction in these diseases. While all the while, money is being made. 1/3 of your salary is being kept for health insurance for these drugs that merely cover symptoms but do not cure, because they are not supposed to cure. The second, this was the disease market. The second biggest market that they are planning on is the human genome, our methods of inheritance, the very existence of life. Why is that so important? Well, those pharmaceutical companies who own the genetic information for the heart owns the heart as an organ, owns the liver as an organ for the whole world. That's the power of patents on genetic information. The third area is our food, what we eat. Here you see genetically modified cornfield. Why would someone have the idea of patenting nutrition? Well, because if you do that, you own nature. Worldwide, you own this plant. And for all these markets, the EU building in Brussels is the Politburo that releases the orders that these genetically modified foods can be used all over Europe. If your government has the idea of saying no, you will be surprised how quickly this is being overturned by the EU Commission, for whom you never voted. Not even your government voted them in. Let's give you an example. This is the genetic information. For those of you who are not familiar with that, this is under high magnification, under a microscope. Potatoes. Now, on the left side, you see the potato you grow in your garden. Suddenly, a company comes along and says, well, we want to modify the genetic information of the potato in your garden. And they change one gene segment, one combination of what is called nucleic acids, very small elements of this information. And it's a new plant which can be patented. The goal of this market, to systematically go through nature, tomatoes, corn, potatoes, whatever, and try to own these plants, is a race, a global race, on by these multinational companies. Monopoly over nature, monopoly over global markets. And now I'm coming to a point that I want you to understand too. The role of what is called a terminator gene. These genetically modified foods, most of them, contain what is called a terminator gene. What does that mean? The matter of inheritance is modified so that the potato you plant only grows in one season. If you want to have potatoes the next year, you need to buy the seed potatoes from whom? From the IG Farben successors. Every year, the seed potatoes must be bought freshly from them. Do you see how these mechanisms can be used far beyond making money? They can be used to control your daily life, the society, not only for our generation, but for generations to come. They will no longer need the machine guns and tanks. They can blackmail you by saying well, this year we will not give you food. You think this is science fiction? Well, BASF, we've heard about BASF, has applied for the admission of their genetically modified potato called M. flora. Beautiful name. Flora, flower, M. flower. To the EU. What happened? The European agricultural ministers said no. That didn't bother the European Commission. They said, of course, yes, and European-wide. The decision has been made. The announcement that the European Commission allows this genetically modified potato for distribution, planting, sales, consumption for 400 million people in Europe is expected any day.